Okay, so Eze Karen Chidera, thank you for joining us in this conversation this morning. It's a pleasure to have you on. First of all, let me start by asking, what motivated you to go on the streets to protest that the SARS police unit be completely disbanded, by the federal government? What was that push that you had that made you go to the street to protest and demand that the SARS unit be banned?
Okay, first of all, I believe as a citizen, everything that affects your country, a place where you stay in, should also affect you. It doesn't necessarily have to directly influence you. But because we all use the media, and when you continuously see that people are getting killed, people are being brutalized, raped for no reason, people are labeled Yahoo boys because they look good, or because they drive flashy cars, or because of their hair color choice, you begin to get worried. Like, what will happen to my own brothers, right? What will happen to my own sisters? And it has gotten to the point where whenever you have your brothers, especially going out, you have to tell them, be careful, don't argue with the police, just comply. How can you be in a country where you were birthed in and you're not even sure of your safety? You're not sure of your safety outside your country, you're not sure of your safety in your country. And then also when there was a time a cousin of mine, he went to buy akara from all these stores now and everything. And then SARS just came and carried all of them. And they told them, if you talk, I'll shoot you and nothing will happen. So all those things affect you. I'm not of the school of thought that something must directly affect you before you speak on it. So seeing all these things and it's been a continuous problem, it's been a continuous occurrence, it gets to your head and begins to affect you. You just feel enough is enough. I have to talk about it. I have to speak on it. I have to walk the walk. My mouth, my efforts, my talk where my mouth is. You have to do something. And if this is the only way you can, then why not?
I mean, you went to the streets and you protested and you demanded. You demonstrated courage and patriotism, and we saw ugly scenes in a video that was circulated where you were beaten and manhandled by a couple of policemen while you were protesting. Could you please share that experience, how that ugly experience and encounter you had with those policemen?
Okay. This was a peaceful protest. There were no violence instigated from our side. It was just a peaceful protest. What was the protest about? End SARS. We are all walking towards the force headquarters, demanding, it's our right, demanding to see the IGP of police so that we can have a one-on-one conversation with him on the need and necessity to end SARS. While we were walking, the policemen, I think they already formed their whole barricade, and there were two big trucks pouring hot water on us. And some people went to the front and they actually knelt down there, right? They didn't want to move. But then it got to a point where these trucks, they kept approaching. Like they didn't care who was on the line. So everybody had to disperse. And on the way on, like while we were running, I and a friend of mine, we had a spray can, baking soda. So we had to look for water because once tear gas is sprayed, it begins to burn your skin. But if you have water with baking soda, mixed with baking soda, and you spray on that part, it calms the burn immediately. So we had to stop, get water, mix it with baking soda, and because they began to throw tear gas at us too, and had to give it to people to ease the burn. That didn't stop there. Aside the hot water and the tear gas they were throwing at us, they started shooting. And we all know how many people have died of stray bullet. I mean, Kolade Johnson died of stray bullet. Started shooting in the air like we are animals, we are criminals. Then we began to run again. As we were running, I fell. And once I fell, a police officer came to me with so much anger, using a stick, not even like a small cane, a stick, a big stick, approached me and started beating me. In fact, what he wanted was to beat my face. So I had to use my hand to block it. If you notice, you see a lot of cane marks. So I had to use my hand to block it because I didn't want to any blunt trauma or anything that would make me pass out. Before you know it, 1 minute this policeman is beating me, next minute, and that one's approaching me, and both of them are beating me mercilessly. When they beat me and they were satisfied from the beating, they said I should go. I began to run, and that one came to me and called me back. And those kind of things, you can't really run because they're holding guns. And I was here, all I was hearing was shoot them, shoot them. It was as if my life literally like flashed through my eyes. I was scared. Then he asked me, what are you doing here? Blah, 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 blah. I had not even gotten one word out of my mouth. The next thing he pepper sprayed me directly into my eye, my whole face. I was burning. And I had a little bottle of water. That was what I kept pouring inside. I could not see. So I kept going. At this point, I was very weak from the beating from the pepper spray, so I couldn't even run. Then I saw another girl. I asked her if she had baking soda water. She said she didn't. While we were going, the next thing we heard was, call those people, arrest them, shoot them, shoot them. I think I was still trying to process what was happening. Next thing they came and they said we should stop. And you have to understand that these people are carrying guns. So you cannot even, and they carried us, they took us to force headquarters. While we were at force headquarters, it was like, while we were going actually, they picked up another girl. As we were going towards the force headquarters, all the policemen, they started shouting, "Ashawo, ashawo." And yesterday was actually very traumatic. So while we were there, one of the girls that was picked up with us, she had a brother working in federal road safety. So he was the one that actually came. And that's how they released all of us. If not, I don't know what would have happened, to be honest.
This is quite a very ugly picture that you have painted. And I really feel sorry that you had to go through that in the hands of men of the police who were supposed to protect you. But I'm proud that you stood up. I'm proud that you made your voice counted, and I'm proud that you stood up for the generation after you. So are you satisfied with what you've heard from the federal government or from the Inspector General of Police that the SARS units will be banned? And what would you want to see for you to have confidence that the process to begin reforming our police is on the way?
First of all, I don't even believe that it has been disbanded. Because even looking at the 5 things you need to know about the disbandment of SARS, I'm not entirely convinced. While I was in custody, what one of the police officers was saying was, he said, and I quote, "Even the president cannot stop SARS because SARS is the necessary evil. The worst they can do is tell the masses they've scrapped it and then change the name." So we, the masses, we are not going to be convinced that it has been ended until we see a change. Like we say, okay, there is actually a change. Because even as at yesterday night, someone tweeted about still being stopped by SARS and being extorted. So how come we, the masses, we know SARS has stopped, but SARS does not even know they've been stopped? And one thing we need an executive order from the president himself. Let the president himself acknowledge that SARS has been stopped. I honestly don't know why the president is not saying anything on this matter, because it is actually very unfair. If you say you're the president of a whole nation, of a whole country, and you're looking over your citizens, then you should actually care, not that you just be lackadaisical about the whole issue. It does not really sit well with me. So about that, I don't think it is. We are not satisfied. There has to be an executive order from the president that this has been done. If not, I think protest continues. So,
Karin, thank you very much for speaking with us. And just like you, who is another young Nigerian, I hope that the federal government listens and does the right thing to reform the institution and completely dissolve this SARS unit. Thank you very much, and I'm proud of you. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you so much. Yeah.